So for this week's edition, we're going to have a look at a British public information film, which I think is the most controversial one ever made, and a lot of people agreed with that when it was released in the 70s because it was banned. It shows the dangers of playing by and on railway lines, and it's called The Finish Line. The Finishing Line is a 1977 public information film produced for the government by the Central Office of Information, written and directed by John Krish. The film was to warn children of the dangers of vandalism and playing next to and on train tracks. The film was so graphic in nature that the government banned it after only 6 months for 20 years. The film is an extended length film, with normal BFI films at the time being around 1 to 2 minutes. The film is about a young boy imagining his school sports day taking place across a railway line. There is a big crowd there and a brass band and sort of a carnival atmosphere going on. I often wondered if, when they made Harry Potter, if they had the idea for at the end of the trial was a tournament, when they had the brass band playing, if they got it from this public information film. Watching it, there's a lot of things that's the same, and I always wondered that. Certain events, such as the vandalism event, is like the obstacle course, where the kids must destroy a fence and run down the embankment and get to the other side of the line whilst running across the railway. At this point, the kid is knocked unconscious by the railway line and killed when a train comes across. No one seemed bothered by this, and the team were just disqualified for having not completed the course with all the full team, and the body is just taken away while the kids look on. The next event is the firing line, where the kids have to throw missiles at the train and score points if they hit windows or people on the train. This is more of a disturbing bit, where the driver gets hit in the eyes with the glass and you can see a lot of blood. It's quite a disturbing part of the film. It then moves on to the running across the lines, which is basically chicken, where they do a green line and the kids run across and quite a few kids get killed. And the final event of the sports day is the tunnel walk, which all the kids walk across the dark tunnel and then a train comes the other way. And on the way out you see several injured kids limping out of the tunnel, and then with the brass band playing, all the other dead kids are laid across the railway line. And then the film finishes with the kid, as it did at the beginning, sat on the railway line hearing the headmaster mentioning about kids playing on the railway line. So the film was banned after 6 months because of the graphic content, and the film Robbie was made to replace it. It's typically a British public information film. It's quite ironic and subtle, but it will hit a lot of British people at the time and now who remember doing summer sports days in school with your teams, with the colours, with the colour teams. And the sports events do signify how a lot of kids were killed on the railway lines at the time. It has really dark, macabre and scary undertones, like how no one really cares how the kids are killed and just carry on with the events. I think this is one of the most effective public information films I've seen, and it would make me definitely stay away from train lines if I watched it for the first time round, definitely. Watching it, there's quite a lot of things that used to go on with the sports day when we used to have when we were kids, especially in primary school, with the colour teams that you were on, like red team, blue team, green team, yellow team. It's all the same, and there's a lot of things that relate to it on this. There's also really funny bits as well, like the teachers getting really annoyed at the kids chucking grass at each other, yet they're leading them to the deaths and they're not really bothered when the kids die. It's just really macabre, and I think it's just a really surreal public information film, but really hard hitting one at the time. It's a really good one.